Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gary back with another video. Now, today, a few months ago, me and my friend Dimzy, right?
No one wants to hear the introduction. Let's get on with the debate and let me beat you again. Yeah? If they want to see the video, they can see me beat you. Let me beat you again. So then, that's my introduction. Yeah, I'm Dimzy. Yeah.
Alright, dude, open up a hole and go back into it, alright? But me and Dimzy did a debate about, is Yugi the true king of games, right? He beat me in that debate because of his impressive vocabulary and his reasonings behind it. And also, you guys are Yugi fanboys, alright? Yeah, hit the dislike button, alright? That shit got like 40 dislikes, I don't care. But this time, we're going to be talking about who is suitable for Taya. Who is suitable, Yugi or Yami? Now, Dimzy, you go first, or should I go first?
Go for it. You go first. Loser, you know, you lost the last round. Just like in Yu-Gi-Oh, the person who loses the first round gets to choose. So you know what? You choose who goes first. Because we are Yu-Gi-Oh people.
You go first.
So, let me tell you one thing, yeah? This is my first point, and it's very, very simple. Yugi, Yami. Yami's how old? Do you want to enlighten us? From the manga is what? 3,000, yeah?
Yeah.
3,000 years old. He's 3,000 years too old for a person in high school. Simple as that. Firstly, he's breaking the law. It's disgusting. It's weird. Yeah. Why can't she deserve and get with Yugi, who they've known since childhood? It's only normal. It's only right, and they mesh. Remember, Taya was the first person to stand up for Yugi to the bullies, to who? To Joey, to Tristan, and that's when the first spark truly went off. And it's pretty much written later that Taya, Yugi, perfect match. Yami is literally the third wheel. So yeah, go for it, mate.
So look, maybe so, but look in the manga, right? There's this one random game, right? Taya was working at a shop because she needed the money to go to New York, even though her school didn't permit it to, right? She was going. Yugi and Junochi, they were there, and they sort of caught Taya. But the thing is, someone took her, put her as like a hostage, right? Your boy Yugi is a fucking wimp, had to transform into Yami. Yami comes and saves the day, and that's when Taya builds an affection for Yami because her eyes were closed and she's like, whose voice is that? That's when it started. That's when the spark for Yami started, alright? She has an affection for Yami. When Yami was about to figure out his past, alright?
Yeah.
Yami and Taya went on a date. She didn't go with Yugi. She's like, no, bring out Yami. I don't want to talk to Yugi. Yugi's a little wimp.
What are you talking about? Don't you remember in Duelist Kingdom where Yugi had a little inkling about maybe Taya wants a Yami, maybe she likes Yami far more, and then she's like, you know what, shall I give you more time with Yami? And then she's like, nah, no, because the way I see it, Yugi and Atem are both, at the end of the day, Yugi. So there was no real indication or inclination on Taya's part that she wants Atem, she wants Yami. If anything, she wanted Yugi even more because she wanted Yugi to stay Yugi, stay in his own body because she likes him. And that is proof, I guess. Go on. What are you gonna say next, mate?
Nah, dude. You gotta realize this. About the date. She wanted Yami, bro. They were hitting it up that night. They built chemistry that night. In the final duel, when Atem was about to go into the afterlife, Taya was running to Yami. She's like, Yami, don't leave. And then Joey had to hold her back. Her ass would have went in the afterlife with Atem.
Yeah, but
she would have died.
But you have to understand this. It's simply put, they're good friends. Taya and Yugi, Taya, Yami. Taya is friends with Joey. She's friends with... Look, Yami is no different to Joey or Tristan or Duke to Taya. They're friends. That's what they are. Now, you're talking about the final deal where, yes, Taya said, look, Yami, I don't want you to leave, etc. But subconsciously, she was rooting for Yugi. And what does that say? If your subconscious is making you root for them, that kind of shows that you are more predisposed and you're naturally favored towards Yugi, and that's, in my opinion, evidence that Yugi's the guy. Now you're saying, oh, Yami came out, yeah. Now this is kind of a scumbag move. There's a lot of instances where a relationship or whatever, yeah, they start on a lie. So let's say this guy meets someone, yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, you know what, I make 50k a year or something. He lied, and then they find out, no, actually he's on 20k. Even though it was built on a lie, Yugi won her by showing his personality, showing his growth. He wasn't that timid creature, that timid little idiot from the beginning. He grew and he started taking on Yami's personalities and he molded it to himself. He became the man that Taya deserved. Unlike Yami who what? All he wanted to do was find out his name and then die again. Get lost.
No. You know what Yuki found out? You know what he molded himself into?
What?
A little sissy ass bitch. That's what he molded himself into. You're telling me this, dude. This kid was a little wimp, bro. He got beat up by Yugioh. Yugioh would have mopped his ass. He would have been on the floor crying. He would have broken up into 2 pieces. The only reason why Yugi made it out throughout those 5 seasons, throughout those 36 chapters of the manga, is because of Yami. Yami's the man. Taya has an affection towards Yami, not Yugi. No one wants to see Yugi, dude. Yugi's a little puny wimp.
You're always talking so retrospectively. This is the beginnings. The whole point is, it's not about the beginning, it's about the whole story, the whole journey. So where it began and where it ended.
Season 5, Yugi mans up, right? It takes this dude like literally 200, like 190 episodes to finally grow a pair of balls and beat Bakura. And then you know what? He beats his Aibo or his partner. He beats Yami in a duel, and then it sort of molds his way. After he defeated Atem, right? He spiritual momentum where he didn't need Atem anymore, right? I understand that. But the thing is, within those 4 seasons, Yugi did nothing to impress Taya. It was always Yami at the end of the day defeating the villains. Yami was the main man. He was the boy. Clearly, Taya wanted Yami. There's no way in hell. Now, you can bring up Yugi from GX if you want to.
Yes, don't take that point away from me. Look at Yugi from GX. He was the man.
Right. We can't debate. He's a man dive in that, right?
You know, there's a chapter you could bring this up about how Taya. This is early on in the manga chapter, on Duel 55, 13 o'clock Terror, where Taya voluntarily, she on purpose tries to get in danger to bring out Yami. The point is this: in the beginning, there was an affection for Yami, there was an affection for Atem, and then as time went on, she clearly knew the difference between Yugi and Yami. It was muddled up. She was confused. Why? Because Yugi was growing on her, and because Yugi was developing and it was becoming more of a presence, he was becoming more of a actual love rival towards Yami. That kind of shows Yugi's journey. And look, the reason why I know for a fact, because I have links with Kaz, he's on my phone and whatnot. I give
my ass,
you know,
dude. Well, why don't you make Yu-Gi-Oh content 24/7 then,
I
bro?
could
dominating all of us.
I could, but the thing is, it's not fair. And me and Kaz, we're chilling in it. But the point is, even the anime, when they were making the anime, they knew that it's all about Yugi and Taya. Look at the 2 anime filler arcs, the Virtual World arc as well as the Waking the Dragons arc. It shows where you saw Taya running towards Yugi, and just Yugi and Taya embracing, hugging each other. Yeah,
I remember that.
Why did they do that? Because the anime producers, the people who are writing it, the people who are drawing it, scripting it, they knew, you know what, there's no point having Yami embrace her or Taya embrace Yami. Let's have Yugi there. They knew from a perspective where they're looking at these characters every other day, they're drawing it, they're producing an anime. They knew Yugi's the guy. Why didn't they put Yami? Tell me.
Alright, you know why? Because Yami won the duel between the penguin, I'm pretty sure. And then after that, when Yugi goes into his normal self, that's when Taya gives him the hug.
She knew. She knew exact. If you want to jump, she's like, "Oi, I don't want to hug you. Atem, come out. Oh, Yami, come out."
No, dude. Yugi's a little sissy. He needs a girl to hug him.
Then what?
He didn't get that hug as an affection. He didn't make his move. If Taya made the move on Yami, if Taya hugged Yami, right? Yami would have made the move. He'd have been like, "Hey, yo, baby, come here, hug me." You would have been like, "Yo, Taya, hug me, this, that."
Okay, I agree that Yugi doesn't have the confidence for hugs. For example, when Rebecca...
confidence.
Okay, when Rebecca Hawkins was hugging Yugi, why was...
She got salty.
Why was Taya salty? Why the hell was she so aggravated and incensed by Rebecca, who is hugging Yugi? Unless she wants Yugi. Simple as that.
No, because she was hugging the Millennium Puzzle, bro. Her neck was around the fucking chain. She didn't care about Yugi. She's like, "No, you're not taking my attention." But you gotta put it in this sense, right? Look, Yami comes in, he's very evil, right? At first he's very evil, and then his personality switches. But the thing is, with Yugi's guidance, of course. But when Taya saw Yami for the first time, alright, whatever. When Taya, that's erased. But when Taya saw Yami for the first time, she sort of built an affection. And yes, you can say that it was like a, how do I say it, like a love triangle between Taya, Yugi, and Yami. Yeah. It was hard as hell for her to pick Yugi and Yami. It's hard. But the thing is, there are more times of Yami shining than Yugi shining.
But that's the reason why when Yugi shines at the end, the development is really highlighted and we're really surprised, and it makes you take notice of Yugi. If Yugi was in the spotlight every single time, it wouldn't be as pronounced, it wouldn't be as blatant when to see his development. That's That's just the way it is. You see a sportsman or athlete, if they start excellent from the get-go, you expect those high standards. But when you see someone who's complete and utter shit and they improve to be a top draw, an absolutely first class athlete, you're gonna be like, how the hell did this become that? And that's what you think about Yugi. How did that become that? Why wasn't Kaiba part of this triangle? Why wasn't Joey part of this triangle? Joey had confidence.
Joey had Mai.
Yeah, but Joey had confidence in truckloads. He could have multiple people running after him. It wouldn't bother him. He has the confidence for that. Why didn't Tristan? Why didn't the other people, the other characters who have so much confidence easily be part of the triangle? Why? Because Yugi had something else. He had that little personality. He had that innocence. He had that.
No, you know why? Because Yugi had the Millennium Puzzle. That's why.
Probably, yeah. I think you might be right on that. But I don't know. To be honest, can we even decide if Yugi and Yami, which one is picked?
Well, we don't know. But to end it off, right? We've already said our points. There's this Kaz interview, right? And it says, "Dear Shonen Jump, why doesn't Yugi go out with Taya, Anzu? They make a good couple." And then the guy's name's Kevin D. And then Kaz says, he's like, "Hi Kevin, we asked Kazuki Takahashi and he explained, it's pretty much a love triangle between the three. Anzu and Yugi are always very careful with each other so they can get in the position where they can admit their true feelings for each other." Maybe let that sink in.
So I guess it's just still ambiguous, and for you people in the comment section and all you Yu-Gi-Oh fans, don't waste your energy arguing with these shipping wars, because the truth is there's no point, and I'm right. So vote for me, hashtag Yugi the man.
For me, hashtag Yugi's the wimp, hashtag Yami's the all-star pussy lacrosse magnet.
Why do you have two hashtags? Okay, give me another hashtag. Hashtag Yami the P. What does the P stand for? I don't know. Call the police.
Yami
I don't know.
P. We don't know. But thank you very much for coming by, Dimzy.
Anytime,
as always,
man.
I won this debate like last time. And check his channel out, guys. It will be linked in the description below.
Thank you very much.